Alright, back with another video, and this is slightly different. These are some highlights from a session I play on Thursday, April 25th. I'm going to do it in two parts. This is my first effort at trying to edit something, so it's not brilliant, but hey, look, it's not going to contain loads of me folding Jack 3 offsuit. You can see this first hand here. I get it in with Ace King of Spades against Deuces and Ace 5, and I finish a creditable third place. So, we're not off to the best of starts. Most of these are in fact going to be me winning hands. I think the reason is this: I filtered it in my poker tracker for pots over a certain size, and the way I play seems to be that the bigger pots I seem to win, but then I lose lots of little pots. My red line on my graph isn't great. Um, so that's something I think I'm going to need to address. But for this video, it's mostly going to be me winning. Apart from that first hand where I dust off a buy-in, which I think was about 3 hands into the session. So on the right-hand side here with Ace-Queen, it's a four-way pot, and we get a very safe turn after flopping two pair. Go ahead and bet, I think, just a little over third. It's sort of a little awkward when you've got this many people in the pot. Jack 10 is also a hand that you do have to be a little bit concerned about. Certainly somebody could easily have Jack 10. But to get some value, I think I do need to bet, get value from worse two pairs, worse aces, charge the club draws, etc. Yeah, this session was actually about 3 hours long or so, and I've just taken it's about the top 8 or 9 hands. It's not going to be a huge number of hands in this. And we just call the river can't raise. And fortunately for me, the guy doesn't have Jack 10, he has Ace 5. I wonder if I could even raise there. Because if he didn't check raise the flop all the turn, Jack 10 seems kind of unlikely. So I might have missed out there. You can see here that the editing isn't brilliant. We've got the same hand on both tables. This was because my computer runs a bit slowly sometimes when I play two tables for a while, and so I have to close one and then bring another one up. But in the meantime, the OBS puts both of them on the same one table on both bits. So that's what's happening here. Anyway, three bet the aces pre and two coolers. I think I could probably afford to go a little bit bigger than that. I only go a quarter. I would like to see probably I think I'd probably like to see a bigger bet than that. Probably, I could have even gone half pot. I think on a board that dry. Now I decide to check here. Yeah, I understand why. Maybe I'm worried about a set or two pair, but I think here I'm losing out on value. And this is something that I've noticed watching back, that although a lot of these are going to pots I win, I'm not actually convinced I play all of them all that well. And there, I'll tell you, the guy had ace king. So yeah, I'm not sure that I really got full value for my aces there. It's maybe slightly results orientated, but I think that my bet sizing there was too small on the flop. Probably should have bet the turn, and the river bet was probably a fair enough sizing. Now this is a play I very rarely make. It goes raise under the gun, three bet in second position, and I flat aces. I never do this, and again this is another play looking back I don't love. But when you do four bet here, cold four, it looks so strong. So I thought I'd go for a trap play. I was also kind of hoping the guy under the gun, who was a bit splashy, might launch all in, and I might be able to get both of them all in. As it is, it didn't happen, but we get basically the perfect flop. And here, once I've decided to play it this way pre-flop, I think calling is fine. And then we get a fantastic turn card as well. And really here, this is just going to be cool, cool. Um, but he decides to check, and I decide to check behind. Again, getting tricky. I think my theory here was if he had any pocket pair, he would have bet the turns. When he checks, I saw this as he's kind of giving up. So checking back made a lot of sense because if he does have ace king or king queen or a hand like that, it's giving him an opportunity to catch on the river. And the river's pretty good because it means that if he does have those hands, he just has the full house that's on the board. He decides to go for this third pot bet. I didn't really know what it was, but it doesn't matter. I'm launching all in and hoping that he either has like pocket tens or that he just calls with what's on the board. But I assume once he plays this way that Yeah, he probably doesn't have a pocket pair very often because if he did, I don't really understand why those would check the turn. Anyway, he takes a bit of time and decides to throw it away. So win a pot. Maybe we made the maximum. Maybe we'd have done better just playing it faster. This is actually the very next hand, and we get the king seven of hearts in the small blind. And looking back on these hands, it is something that it's another part of my game that it does need to improve is getting the maximum when I do have a hand. I think sometimes I have a tendency of being overly cautious and thinking that I'm getting trapped when I'm not. So yeah, and he bets one big blind. I decide to raise, which I'm pretty sure is the right play. Yeah, that seems about the right size. Yeah, I think yeah, I like this. I think this bet sizing is much better, going pot size, and I'm hoping that I just shove the river. Yeah, hang on. What am I doing here? Am I going all in? Yeah, I am putting them all in. For some reason, I was farting around, but I do put him all in, and he had 9-10 for the turn straight. So sometimes the cards just cooperate beautifully, and that was one of those occasions. And I think the hand that yeah, I think we need to be looking at here is in fact the deuces on the left. I think this is yeah, the hand where there's some chips flying. Flopping a set. By the way, this is all 5NL. I don't think I mentioned that at the start. This is, yeah, I played a long session of that yesterday and another one today. This is Friday when I'm making this. Decide to just call, hoping that the guy behind who's got 17 big blinds will shove, which he does. He accommodates. And this guy just calls, and now I think it's just put the chips in. Decides he's got 33 behind. I don't think he's going to be folding very often. If he does have a hand like King Jack, Queen Jack, Ace Jack, I don't want to call and then just have a club roll off. So just put the chips in and yeah, hope that he just gets tempted by what's in there just to call off with the Jack. That was my plan, and it works as he has Queen Jack offsuit, and the other guy does have a flush draw, but it doesn't get there, and we scoop a nice pot. Okay, what we got up next? King nine of diamonds. Yeah, this is some of these plays I'm making at the moment where I'm calling a little bit more pre-flop. Don't know whether this is the right move. I mean, calling an under the gun raise from the small blind with king nine of diamonds, not a great play, I don't think. But sometimes if I see someone who's very splashy and prone to going off post flop, then calling with these types of hands can sometimes make sense because if you do make a big hand, you'll get paid off more often than you should. And we just check call, get a nice turn card, turning our flush. And he bets 13.4. I presume we go ahead and raise. No, I just call. There's the five of clubs and check raise all in. Oh. So yeah, and then yeah, again, a bit wimpy. I would like to see a check raise all in or a check raise on the turn. You know, when people start piling chips in, you've got the second nuts. Just just start piling chips in yourself. So there, I think I'm missing out on value. Here we call from the big blind with Jack 8. A bit loose, but we get a really great flop. And I'd like to see a check raise here particularly with the diamonds out there. I want to get a check raise. Maybe even made it a little bit bigger than this. Calls very fast. I want to see again another good size bet. I think we can go larger. We want to set up. Yeah, I think this should be bigger. I don't like the sizing. Now that we get a very safe river, I would like to see a large bet. I only played this yesterday. I can't even remember the stuff. And again, yeah, the bet sizing is too small. And I do remember what he had there. He had ace jack, but on both of those hands with the flush and the top two pair, I think I'm missing out on value. And I'm not just saying that because of what the players happen to have. It's just I need to start really piling more chips in when I've got it, and that's a bit of a mistake. I think sometimes I want to get called, so I go a little bit too small. That's not how I should be thinking. The previous hand with the King Seven of Hearts, that was better in terms of the sizings. Anyway, waffle on. Sixes here, calling an under the gun raise. This is a little bit loose, but I was a 546 big blinds, so it looks like I was kind of feeling it on that table. And no wonder, because I was flopping a set with my sixes. And I think on this board here, this is a very straightforward raise. Yep. I do promise that I've got some more highlights that I can edit, but there are some hands of me losing, so they won't for the people that for the few subscribers I've got who watch, it won't just be me showing hands where I flop sets and win. As much as I would love that for poker to be, unfortunately, it's not. I do win with the sixes against Queen 10. Last hand here again. Sorry that they're both on the same table. Same issue about I was having to bring up another table. And this table was going well. 600 and something big blinds. This was a good session on this table. And looks like I'm just taking a passive line here. Don't want to bet and get raised with this deep. So this is an occasion, in fact, where I quite like taking the more passive line. You don't always have to be aggressive, and good spot here, I think, to check and just check call, pick off any random bluffs the guy's going to have. Yep, just cool. And he's got ace 10 of clubs. Good job we didn't hit club on the river. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the video. This is actually just part one. I'll release part two as well. Might try a few more of these highlights videos. They will include some me losing in the future, I promise. Just a short video today. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.